Simp and simping are trendy concepts these days. You probably have watched multiple videos about this and still do not fully understand what it means and how harmful it is. So stay tuned, because you're gonna acquire life-changing knowledge to turn into a man worthy of respect. Here are 3 brief stories to get an idea of what a simp is, and it goes beyond being excessively nice towards women. History number 1. I had a friend who used to pay for a girl's lunch every day at school to win her over. Unfortunately, it didn't work. The girl just took advantage of him, and she got a bunch of free meals. History number 2. Another man spent 5 years of his life chasing and putting women on a pedestal. Damn, as if they were divine beings. Anyway, he was the type to think that he could be valuable only if a woman approved and respected him. Since he couldn't get laid, obviously, so he became addicted to porn. Needless to say, he didn't see women as human beings, but rather either as beauty objects or prizes. In real life, our sad protagonist was constantly friend-zoned and used as a provider. Since he was so desperate, he attracted only low-value, unstable women with tons of mental health and daddy issues. That stopped when he realized that his approach was completely wrong and changed his entire mentality to become a high-value man who doesn't need any approval from women. And as you might guess, now he's freer than ever and got a whole lot of women interested in him. He went from low-hanging fruit, which obviously tends to be rotten, to top-shelf lady with whom there's a fair exchange of value. History number 3. This last one will for sure ring a bell. This young man was the most successful student of his promotion. Excellent grades, spent most of his time reading and learning, and the teachers adored him. However, he was often bullied and mocked. One day, one of the most beautiful girls in the class approached him and started a conversation to get to know him more, so they chatted a bit and exchanged numbers. He was kinda nervous because he had never received attention from women who were not his mother. The high school day ended and everyone went back home. A few hours later, the guy receives a text from the chick, asking him how he's doing. They exchanged a few small talk messages and she finally asked him for a favor. "I don't know how to do this math assignment, could you do it for me?" He agreed and gave her the completed task the next day. She said thank you and told him he was such a good guy. He thought to himself, "Finally, a girl is after me, and she's the hottest in the class." Fantasies started popping up, and he even started planning dates with her. However, while he was inside his world of sunshine and rainbows, she was just asking for more favors. He kept going like this for a few weeks, and since she was treating him nicely, he supposed he was doing the right thing, until he found out she was hanging out with another man. This came as a very unpleasant surprise, but luckily he did not ask for explanations like other average guys do. Instead, he just ghosted her. At first, she tried to convince him to keep doing her homework, but he refused. Eventually, she gave up, so she had to deal with her homework on her own. A few years later, they both bumped into each other. Now our protagonist looked and acted differently. He was a very successful guy with stable finances, an impeccable style, and a beautiful woman by his side. The high school girl was absolutely shocked, so she didn't know how to react, causing the encounter to be uncomfortable. The next day, while the now successful man was working, he got a call from his former high school classmate. She was crying like a baby, saying she regretted treating him like that and proposed a date to quote-unquote catch up. He refused, knowing how selfish she was, and hung up the phone. He started crying too, but for a different reason, because he finally was so high value and had so many tasks to take care of that he was not interested in that type of woman anymore. Know what a simp is now? I think you do, right? Men are told that women are perfect. No, women are not perfect, they're just human beings. Oftentimes men buy modern narratives that buying her flowers, acting as his best friend, paying for dinner, and everything along those lines will make her fall for them. That's simply not true, because doing all that is not enough. Giving so much value in exchange for nothing is not seduction, that's simping. In other words, that is disrespecting you and undermining your value as a man. And do not get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with paying for meals, holding doors, and texting women to check how they're doing. but doing that when she is not investing at the same level too is called simping. Simping can be defined as allowing women to cause you to do things for them you wouldn't do for other people like friends or family members. We showed in a previous video that men report not having had sex in the last year. As a consequence, they misunderstand what being nice to women is, so they normally go all in when a girl shows him just a little interest. These men tend to be utilized, are asked for favors, and don't get the results they expect. Instead of having phenomenal relationships and sex, they just give away their attention. Women get approval and simps do not get anything in return. Do you know now how dangerous simping is? To wrap up this video, let me clearly point out all the reasons why you shouldn't be simping. Because you're disrespecting yourself. Because you waste your precious time with someone who doesn't appreciate it. Because you might waste money with someone who won't give you anything in return. Because it decreases your value as a man. Because despite the noble intentions you may have, women only will see you as a guy without a penis. Because if you are quote-unquote lucky enough to get girls, they normally are unstable, have mental health problems, and give lots of problems. Because you will not be considered as a potential partner, but rather as an errand boy. And let me make this clear, some radical guys out there mention that doing the following is simping too. Use your jacket to protect a woman from the rain and cold. Respond quote-unquote too quickly to a woman's texts. React to all her Instagram stories. Dress well to impress her. Answering a FaceTime call from her. Dressing well is not only a means to boost your self-confidence, but also to make her respect you more if you do this for the right reason. Namely, you dress well because you have good taste and show you care about your image not to impress anyone, but to be respected. And come on, wouldn't you answer a FaceTime call from a friend too? Simping means doing things you wouldn't do for friends or family members. However, I would say that reacting to all her Instagram stories is simping when she does not do the same to you. The key is that there must be a win-win relationship, otherwise there is an unjust interaction where one party gives a lot and the other just receives without giving anything in return. In conclusion, being nice, kind, gentle, and polite is not bad. In fact, I encourage you to be all that with the people who deserve it. Classmates, coworkers, business partners, and women who invest in you as much as you do. The problem in reality is being submissive, becoming an errand boy, and letting women take advantage of you. Keep your frame strong in mind, who you invest your resources and energy in. That's it for today's video. I hope you finally understand what simping is, and most importantly, you choose not to simp. In contrast, if you choose to be a high-value man, not only will you attract women who will respect and admire you, but you will also have healthier relationships. I wish you tremendous success. If you found this video useful, hit the like and subscribe buttons, comment, and share it. See you in the next video. Till next time.